It is November 10th, 2023. We are walking around the University of Minnesota campus. We're currently on the West Bank. We're going to cross this bridge behind these trees and head over towards the East Bank. It is a chilly, kind of gloomy day here in Minneapolis. Currently about 40 degrees. Overcast. Not a lot of light. But still a good day for a walk. I actually have not spent much time in this area before, so this is a new spot to walk for me. I don't even know how to get to the crossing part of the bridge. Hello, Dro on the go. Hello in Orlando. Hope it is a nice day there. Nice to have you with us. We need to go up to general area here, and then we'll take a quick look around before going over the bridge. I think this is the School of Management side of the campus. It's like a library here. Anderson Hall. See a lot of the times when we're walking around downtown Minneapolis. I guess we saw people in the Skyway, but most of the time when we're outside, it's a lot quieter. The bridge that we're about to cross is pedestrian on the upper level, and then on the lower level is light rail and vehicle traffic. You can see the light rail coming through right now. I actually saw a sign when I was pulling up. It said that there's going to be some sort of construction coming up on it. I don't know how long that'll be for, but it said it'll be closed at some point starting next weekend. I don't know if that's just for a day or what. Looks like it's protected from weather on the inside, and then outside you can enjoy the weather, views of the bridge, all that stuff, which we will stay on the outside today. Kind of a shoe tree here. Look at all these shoes. I wonder if that's some sort of University of Minnesota tradition or something, to throw a pair of shoes in the tree. We'll have to look into that. I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know. cleats. And then we're going over the Mississippi River. Above the floodplains of Bohemian Flats. I don't know how many of you saw the flood videos from this spring, but much of this area below us was flooded out when we were walking around down there, and I want to say April or May. But if you haven't seen that, it's worth checking out. Kind of cool period of time. We are walking towards, on the right, you can see this very unique building. That is the Weisman Museum, which I believe is a free museum designed by the one and only Frank Gehry. Definitely a master of modern architecture. Which I'm excited to go check out that building a little bit and see how it looks. I was recently reading up an interview with Frank Gehry, and he was talking about these metallic designs that have these unique shapes where there's light reflecting in all these different directions. And one of the ideas behind it is that on a gloomy day like this, in a place like Minnesota, you can still really get a feel for the light outside because of all those different angles and the reflections off of each other. It can add some light to your day, which he felt was relevant in some of these bleaker, colder places. Hey, we have Mateus Borges says, "Good afternoon, bud. I discovered your channel recently and really like to see more. I almost reviewed almost all the old videos and been looking forward to new things. Hugs from Brazil." Hey, great to hear that. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I try to put at least 1 to 2 videos out a week, but we will see. It just kind of depends on how my schedule looks and what life is like for me. I did recently have a cold, so I was unable to record and film for a bit there, but I'm able to go back on live today. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you have any specific places in the Twin Cities or Minnesota you'd like to see, you can always let me know, and I'll try to prioritize seeing those places, especially if it's somewhere I haven't been before. And I like to go to places multiple times too, because I think even you look at some of the spots, when I first started doing this a year and a half ago, they're still pretty substantially different in some areas, just with how rapidly the city's changing. Hopefully this view does not change for a long time. That is the beautiful Weisman Museum by Frank Gehry. Definitely one of the, I think, most beautiful pieces of architecture in the Twin Cities. Definitely modern architecture. Much of the older stuff in the Gateway District of downtown Minneapolis was destroyed when they redid that area, but we do have some nice, okay new buildings, but this is, I think, unique, really stands out, beautiful, has all kinds of great form to it. And every angle you look at it from, it just brings a unique perspective. And we are very lucky to have this here in Minnesota on the University of Minnesota campus. I believe the museum itself inside is free, which is very cool. Always support free or donation-based art. Yeah, free admission right here. Accessibility to art is very important, giving people the ability to see what's in there. So one of these days I'll go check out the exhibits, and if they are open to recording inside, maybe I'll do that. We have Urban Cadence, and Why Look at Animals, currently on display. Dro on the Go says looks awesome. I agree. And then on a sunny day when it's really reflecting out there, you can really see some cool stuff. I've seen it from the other side of the river, but never from up close. Definitely somewhere that we'll have to check out throughout different days when the sun's in different positions to see some unique perspectives of it. The Weisman Art Museum. Right next to it. And then I think I'll cross over this bridge and see some of the different views. This is Kaufman Memorial Union. Some sort of event going on here. First gen photos. Very cool. Congratulations to all the first gen students, first gen graduates. Don't think I'll have time for it today, but one of these days I would like to do a full walk through the campus. I'll probably have to study up on some of these buildings a little bit more and some of the architectural history of the campus to give it the attention it deserves. But for now, we'll wander a bit. We just crossed the Weisman Museum on the left. I think it's that concert hall on the right. We can go for a trip, which is the campus buses below. Really only have about an hour, 45 minutes to an where to record today, so I don't know if I want to walk too far this way because I'll probably get lost in the campus and start trying to take closer looks at all kinds of different things. Maybe better to do a standalone video instead of a live so I can get the 4K a little bit higher quality. So far, beautiful first impressions of this area of the University of Minnesota campus. I've been to the part of the area that I think is called Dinkytown. I don't know if this is what that is, but there's like an area kind of by the sports stadiums and stuff I've been to a few times. More anything like the lecture halls and all that. Thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. Tomorrow is Veterans Day in the United States of America, so today is Veterans Day celebrated. I send gratitude and thanks to all of those who have given their time and efforts and energy military. Serving. So there's that bookstore we were just above. There's the green line. Three-car train, probably about 30, 40, maybe 50% sitting there. Definitely plenty of open seating for 1 p.m. on a holiday Friday. Not bad. This is called Robert Brunick's Hall. Really beautiful when it's lit up at night. Very nice lighting on the glass and windows. Use bridge to cross the street. Some steps to get down are closed. Riverside East Bank video, but there's one video where I crossed over this closer bridge. Really nice pedestrian bridge connecting over to the campus. Bridge to cross street. Avoid traffic at crosswalk. Got a tour right here.
Also, light rail train as well. The tracks go in their direction.
Matea says, hi there, would like to see the Brave Light Gabe women's locker room. I'm not sure what that is, but I will look it up and see if we can check it out. Maybe not today, but at some point, unless I see a sign for it around here somewhere. How do I get down there? I want to look at it from below.
That's where that's at. Right next door to that building, there's another one you can't see called Purpose Hall. That's where like the school music classes will be. So if you want to take a music class, you want to join an ensemble, that's where you do this. Square 10-ish.
Maybe I should just go on the tour with that guy. He knows what he's talking about. I don't. He's the one to listen to. He's telling us about all these buildings. And if the brave little gray women's locker room is at a hockey, or I think their women's hockey team is very good. And I want to say they just recently brought on a new women's basketball coach who's supposed to be pretty promising. I'm not sure though. I do sports photography on the side of my regular job, and was recently looking into doing photography at the University of Minnesota Gopher women's basketball. These are interesting bike locks. I don't know what that is. It looks like a bike lock. That museum now. Basketball tonight. Plan ahead traffic. Looks like there's a basketball game. I don't know if it's the men's or women's team. Always some kind of sporting event going on, it seems. When we were down here the other day by all the stadiums, and man, they have so many stadiums on the campus. Is this like a bee habitat maybe? Underside of the Weisman Art Museum. wide and I'm zooming in. Alright, I'm gonna move on from that building. It is gorgeous. I could stare at it for hours, but it's sort of been all I've been focusing on this video. So let's go for a bit of a walk. See where it takes us. Underside. Looks like a parking ramp. Now we're walking underneath that bridge. So you know it's a nice day in Minnesota when there's still water on the ground in November. Give it a few more weeks and all the water will be ice. See Brunink's Hall. Looks like we've got some sort of construction going on ahead. Campus renovation. The University of Minnesota College of Science and Engineering and Chemistry. I think I read about this, like some sort of renovation that was being done to the science department. I don't know if it was what's in front of us now or something else. I mean, the signs lead me to believe that's what's in front of us. I feel like I'm hugging the river here, and I should probably be there. Probably better views up that way. More to see. Now we're looking at loading docks and side streets. building in front of us is called Elliott Hall. Janelica says University of Somali Soda, Mini Gadishu campus, construction of the Ilhan Omar Center for Jihadist Studies. All right. I don't think that's what they're building. I think she made that up. I do not think Ilhan Omar has branches at the University of Minnesota, to my knowledge. I think somewhere around here is one of the older buildings on campus, the Pillsbury Hall, which I believe is one of the more historic structures. I was reading a Minnesota architecture book and they were talking about it. But yeah, one of those things that I'm just not super educated on is the University of Minnesota campus. So I could very easily just wander through and see what we see, but I kind of like to know what I'm talking about when we go ahead. We got some turkeys. Can you guys see the turkeys? They're too far away. We'll get closer to them. Oh, there's a lot of turkeys. You can see at least like 6 here. 7, 8. Big Haas says they're cramming in as much construction as possible before the snow starts ticking. Absolutely. It's I think in Minnesota you got to get as much in as you can. They say there's 2 seasons in Minnesota, winter and construction. But a lot of the construction sites do work through the winter and are able to find ways to keep building, keep working, as long as it's not a heavy snow day or like below 0. But the construction workers out here are... Oh, you're talking to me, huh? What do you got? That was my best there we go, it's gobbling. All right, see you later, turkeys. Yeah, the construction workers here in Minnesota are incredible. The work that they do on some of these projects through the winter is very admirable. There's an area over kind of here by the university that I saw about a year ago, right before winter, and was pretty much an undeveloped site. And then no more than a month or so ago went by and it was essentially completed. So they were able to keep busy on that through the winter, find ways to get that schedule going. But I think if they fall behind schedule, it can be hard to catch back up with that winter. Big House says, mad respect to the workers and to those little fellas for spicing up the campus. I feel like the college kids would be chasing these turkeys around. I don't know. You know how kids get. I know when I was a kid, I was doing all sorts of goofy stuff. spring or summer, this bridge was fairly well populated, and there wasn't really anyone going across the campus bridge over there. This one now is pretty quiet. Is that the U of M Greenway or Dinkytown? So I'm not entirely sure. I think Dinkytown is right up this way. I don't know how much of the University of Minnesota is Dinkytown. I think of it as there's that little few block area that has the bars, and there's like the Varsity Theater, and they've been doing a lot of new builds and apartments right around there. That's what I consider Dinkytown. But I am not the best subject on the University of Minnesota at the moment. Although I did technically finish my schooling at University of Minnesota, it was online due to COVID. Downtown Minneapolis, the beautiful skyline, the 35W bridge is actually on the other side. There's a closer one to us is, I don't know what that bridge is called, but beyond that is the 35W bridge. Famously fell into the river part of it did about a decade ago. I think, luckily no one died in the accident. I think it was August 2013, maybe 2012. Was it 2009? I don't know. The 10-year mark for when that happened was somewhat recently. Time gets a little muddled up sometimes for me. And this is the bridge between the West Bank and East Bank. We are looking over the beautiful one and only Mississippi River. Is the new 11 on the water, a little over a year and a half old now. 11 is this tower here. Luxury condos, I think it is one of the largest residential towers on the Mississippi, or largest residential towers in, I know largest in the state. Big Haas says, I've been told by friends and family it's a great bike and walk. I appreciate the live. You got any places in mind you'll be visiting before the snow? Yeah, I don't know. It is definitely a great biking and walking city. I think Minneapolis, I would say walking is, accessible. You can get pretty much anywhere. It is not super compact, like things are a bit spread out, but you can take a bus or a light rail. There's neighborhoods that are pretty compact, that you have those 15-minute neighborhoods where you can walk to anything you need. And then yeah, I think bikeability, I want to say it was one of the top in the country this year based on bike lanes and accessibility via bike and the work they do to keep cyclists protected. Which I actually ride a bike occasionally. Try to teach my kid to bike a bit and try to plant those seeds in him. So we rode bikes to school together this morning. I think it was mid-30s, a little bit chilly, but we toughed it out. Any places I'll be visiting before the snow falls? I don't know. One of the main things I wanted to see, I've had really high on my list, is that Weisman Art Museum right there. And definitely have been planning to do more in St. Paul. It's just deciding if that stuff I want to wait until winter, because some of the walks I think look a little bit better when there's snow on the ground. Really also want to get down to Rochester again soon. The Mississippi River riverboat down there. Yeah, I have like a master list of probably like 30-40 places that I have either been suggested or that I'm meaning to check out at some point, specifically while recording for the YouTube channel here. And then as those come in, I just kind of find where I'm at, what I can fit in that day. Today is a Friday, so I had a little bit of a light workload, so I worked for a few hours this morning and scarfed down a quick lunch and spent my lunch break walking around with you all today, and then gonna head back and go back to work in a few minutes here. But yeah, with these videos I kind of just, if there's an event going on or something stands out, I'll try to get my way to check it out, but don't really have anything super set in stone. I know this winter coming up, I do want to do the St. Paul European Christmas market, which I went to last year, but didn't make a walking video at. It's a really cool market, which I also did the Holidazzle here in Minneapolis last year, which unfortunately is not going to exist next year. Or not exist this year. Hopefully that comes back in the future. But who knows? Seems like that sort of thing is not a priority for Minneapolis right now. There's also at the new RBC Gateway Tower, there's I think they have like, I don't know if they're little yurts or what, that they decorated into holiday displays that I would like to go see. I don't know if that's something that would convert well to video, but if it is, I'll probably record something up there if they'll let me. It's kind of hard finding the places where people will let you record and where you're not going to get kicked out. Yeah, thank you all for watching today. I'll probably walk along the river here for a bit back towards that other bridge and then end the video within a few minutes. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Say hi in the comments or the chat if you're here live right now. If you're not here for the live, feel free to say hi in the chat. I do have an email available there. You can send me an email that way. I did recently just reach 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, so thank you everybody who has subscribed to the channel. That is really cool for me. I'm super thankful for everybody who takes time to watch the videos and chat and interact and engage in Minnesota with me. Now that I've hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, YouTube does share some of the ad revenue with the channel creators. So not only do I get to enjoy walking with you all, I get, maybe a sandwich every week or so from it, which is awesome. And then I have had some people who have been using that buy me a coffee link, which I appreciate so much. Anything that anyone can share. So thank you all for watching and enjoying these views with me and coming along. Let's continue on down towards Bohemian Flats. I guess going back, Big Hoss, to the plans for before winter. I do have a plan to do that stadium row on the University of Minnesota campus, and then over by Surly Brewing Company and that new, I think it's called, is it Marshall? Are they Marshall something or another? That area, there's been a lot of new development there that I would like to show and walk around in. But yeah, I want to do as much as I can, even in winter. Last year I had I have recently updated my phone, so hopefully this one will be able to withstand the cold in the winter a little bit better. My last one was a few years old, so the battery was dying pretty rapidly. But we'll see. I think I could get 10-15 minutes in the dead of winter before it would freeze over and shut off. And then now we'll see how long we last. Hey, we've got Dalia Almeida Marcos. Says, great video. Thanks so much for the tour. Greetings from Cuba. Hey, I hope you're having a wonderful day in Cuba. Thank you for walking along with me today. Yeah, I appreciate you coming out. And then we have someone else saying, I come to Minnesota tomorrow. Hey, enjoy. It's should be a great weekend here. Don't know too much of what's going on this weekend, but I hope whatever brings you here is fun and you enjoy it and that you love Minnesota. Dog over here. You got the Mississippi River paddle share. Fairly quiet day along the river. Someone over here have a nice little campfire, which I do not think is legal or authorized, but hopefully they keep that contained. I think when I walked by here this spring, and you can see how the water is all the way, down below where it is now. That water was up close to where we are, and parts of where we're walking was flooded over. So you can see just how high that was. And I had talked about maybe recording a video here on the Minneapolis Queen sometime, but didn't get around to that this summer. Maybe next year, I'll try to make that happen. Minneapolis Queen riverboat, the historic Riverfront cruises. Cool thing going on today in Minnesota, not in Minneapolis, up in Duluth at Two Harbors. So today is the anniversary of the shipwreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which the Edmund Fitzgerald is the largest ship to sink on the Great Lakes. I think it was around 600-700 feet. I don't know off the top of my head. 600-700 foot ship that went out and never came back. So it was tonight up at Two Harbors Lighthouse in Two Harbors, Minnesota. They're going to be lighting up the lighthouse in memory of them. I believe the Arthur M. Anderson, which is one of the Great Lakes steamships, will be going in the harbor because that was the last ship to see and communicate with the Edmund Fitzgerald. on that night. That I believe, unfortunately, around 40 people, I believe. It's either 28 or 38, if I remember correctly. Unfortunately, sunk with the ship. Big Haas says the history behind the flats is intriguing. Crazy how things change over the decades. Yeah, Bohemian Flats here, as Big Haas is talking about, was a immigrant settlement back, I think, over 100 years ago, and it was the Bohemian. A lot of the, I don't know if it was Czech or German, Bohemia in general, settlers were living down here by the river, and then eventually got cleared out. This was where the housing was for that Bohemian community on these floodplains down here. I don't know if it's over here or up there, but there is a plaque that talks about it a bit. Let's go see if we can find it. I got a few more minutes. Yeah, I rented this book from the Hennepin County Library. It's historic photos of Minnesota. There's some images of Bohemian Flats from the Minnesota Historical Society back in the early 1900s, and really fascinating stuff. I also got the historic photos of St. Paul Buck and historic photos of Minnesota in general. Really cool stuff there. And then do plan to go to the Minnesota History Center in St. Paul one of these days. We have the Stop Cop City graffiti, which is in reference to a, I believe, police training facility in Atlanta, or outside of Atlanta. Here we go. Wedged between the Mississippi River and steep river bluffs, the isolated but legendary district known as Bohemian Flats flourished for nearly 70 years. It's a hand-drawn map of Bohemian Flats in 1930. When I come to these things, you know, I love to just stand here and read these, but I don't know if that would be boring for you. I don't know if everybody just wants to listen to me read a plaque. I feel like that's not the most exciting video. I don't know if I don't know how to manage those things, but yeah, those are cool. Some very cool images there. Yeah, Big Haas says the pictures of the flooded shantytown blew me away when I first learned about them. Really cool history to walk down through there. Yeah. Very cool spot. And now it is just a park area. I think they do tree sales down here every spring, where the city of Minneapolis sells a bunch of trees that they grow. I don't know if that's, if you have to enter the tree lottery for that or what. Alright, here we are back under the bridge where we started. Oh, all those shoes. Remember all the shoes? I don't know if how many of you were here at the beginning of the video when we first started. I want to say it's got to be first 5-10 minutes of the video. We saw this tree with all these shoes in it. Now we're underneath this bridge, and look at all these shoes down here. I wonder if they have any in my size. Some of that looks like just trash too. I don't know if I want to walk over there. You got all these shoes from the shoe tree. Alright everybody, it has been about an hour. I do need to get back to work on this Friday afternoon. Thank you all for coming along with the ride. Just as Suhail comes in, Suhail Ahmed says hello. Hi Suhail. Glad to have you here. Thank you to everybody who watched the videos. Fortunately, I do need to head out to get back to finish my work day. But wishing you all the best today. I hope you all have a great weekend. And if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. If you want to catch me live, you got to turn the notifications on, because with my current schedule, my lives are pretty sporadic. If you got something you want to see. But thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you have a good day, a great weekend.